3 days before the start of his criminal trial, which is centered around allegedly paying hush money to a porn star to try to cover up their affair to hold on to evangelical voters in 2016 in the wake of the Access Hollywood video scandal. Donald Trump posted on his flailing social media site a picture of Jesus standing over him next to an American flag with his hands on Trump's shoulders and the words, "Strengthen him, Lord. Send legions of angels to protect him, Father." It may be shocking, but not necessarily surprising, coming from a man who has spent the better part of the last decade stoking Christian nationalism, assembling what is essentially a religious cult, Jim Jones style, and convincing his evangelical flock that he is under attack, and therefore so is Christianity. It's become a central pillar of his 2024 campaign, from his rallies to his plans for a potential second administration. But the ideals of Christian nationalism did not start with Donald Trump. A new documentary, Bad Faith, investigates how the movement that was once on the fringes of Christian conservative thought hijacked the Republican Party and surged to the forefront of American politics today.
But neither has this movement ever been about shaping people in the way of Jesus. This movement has been about scaring white Christian people into believing that there is an enemy out there that's going to obliterate you. If you believe that, then, you believe that in your home you need to have the biggest, baddest gun possible. And in the White House, you also want the biggest, baddest gun possible. And Donald Trump is that gun.
Joining me now is Jonathan Wilson Hartgrove, who you just saw in that clip. He's assistant director at the Yale Center for Public Theology and Public Policy. I feel like I've just seen you, Jonathan, because I just did. I was just at the Yale Center with you 2 days ago. And then we just manifested getting to hang out again together. Talk to me about this documentary. What will it reveal about the origins of Christian nationalism in the U.S.?
Oh, this is a powerful film. I just saw it in D.C. last night at its premiere there. What the film does, and does really well, is it helps people understand the network behind the movement that really created Donald Trump. I mean, in some ways, Trump is a symptom of something that has been at work for a very long time. And this really matters to me because I was raised in a place, I grew up in a church that was targeted by this network more than 40 years ago. And so the film lays out how a political operative named Paul Weyrich worked with many powerful people and increasingly grew that circle, brought in more money to create a real wraparound culture that has inundated certain parts of this country with a kind of manipulation of their faith. Now, sometimes people see this on TV and look at it and say, how could people be so crazy? But if that's all you hear day after day from the local television, from radio, from people who come through your churches and folks that you trust, this is a movement that has had a real warping effect. And, it's deeply concerning for our democracy, but I'm a pastor, and as a pastor, it's deeply concerning for the church.
Yeah.
Because in order to gain political power, this movement has tried to pit people against one another.
Yeah. Go on, finish.
I was just going to say quickly, I was talking to Steve Ulacki, who made this film, and he's been making films for a long time, but he didn't grow up in this culture, and he was telling me that his big question was, where did this come from? It didn't make any sense to him, and he said the process of making the film and learning this story helped him to see that the distrust of government that's become widespread in parts of the country was carefully cultivated, and it was cultivated by this movement.
Yeah, let me play another clip real quick. Here it is.
I would say they don't have their Jesus. They may have their Trump, but they don't have their Jesus. I'm kind of particular about the Jesus thing. They can't have that brown-skinned Palestinian Jew who said, I come to preach good news to the poor, healing to the brokenhearted, recovery of sight to the blind. They can't have that Jesus because he's already told us what he stands for. And that's what always gets in the way of Christian nationalism. It proves it ain't Christian because the problem is Jesus.
And that, of course, is our friend, the Bishop William Barber. I mean, the thing that is, I think people don't understand, Paul Weyrich, who you mentioned, is the guy who got evangelicals to suddenly care about abortion, because they didn't. When Roe v. Wade originally, when that ruling was made, Christians had no thoughts on it and were mostly pro-choice and didn't care. He's the one who said, no, let's not focus on the thing we really care about, which was we really wanted our white schools that were all white and were segregated. We need to focus on something more palatable. How did people manage to get people to go from the Bible, which is the Jesus who cares about the poor and the sick, to caring about things like abortion and gay people and things like that?
Well, the movement played to fear, but it didn't do it explicitly, because I think the movement realized in the post-civil rights era that it couldn't appeal directly to racism. It had to use religion instead of racism, right? So Weyrach's sort of organizational genius is that he takes the fear and the anger around these Christians who want to hold on to their segregation academies, and he says, no, actually what you're for is you're pro-life and you're pro-family. So you're trying to create educational systems for your kids that are going to instill those values in them. And he begins to manipulate this religious language that people had learned in church and to use it to play to the worst fears in their local culture. I mean, I think that this is always the potential of religion, right? Mm-hmm. You know, Bishop Barber and I teach people who are going to be ministers in the church, and we teach the history of religion in this country. And this has always been here, right? In public, religion has always been possible as a tool for division and for stirring up division. Right. But on the other side, and why it's so powerful, is that it has also been an incredible strength for bringing people together. I mean, it took faith-based movements to bring about abolition, to bring about the labor movement. It was at the heart of the New Deal. It was at the civil rights movement, the women's rights movement. And so what we're trying to say, both in this film and in everything we're doing, is that something that powerful can be put to use for good. And that's why we had clergy together just this week in New Haven and made a declaration of clergy who said, we are going to go from this place and preach the real moral issues. We're not going to fall for these divide and conquer issues. We're going to preach the real moral issues and bring people together in the public square.
Real evangelicals evangelize the good news of Jesus, which is good news to the poor, the sick, and the rejected, and the immigrant. Jonathan Wilson Hargrove. I know, because I'm a church girl. I'm telling you, church girls will get it together. Thank you, Jonathan Wilson Hargrove. Appreciate you. And the documentary Bad Faith will be streaming online next week. Up next, Vice President